Okay, so we're still in California and still trying to make it down to Mexico, right? I didn't know I was going to Mexico. God told me one day um, to do something, and I prepped for that, and and then I just set it aside. So let me get to that point. So we go to this um, place, and we're in the RV, and I'm cleaning the RV out, and it's just kids needed to get out of that little area, so I took them somewhere, and we were just kind of kicking it, and the girls were off, and I'm cleaning out the RV because it's just what I do. I clean when I get to, and so it's a get to time. The kids are all out, and so I'm organizing, cleaning, vacuuming, and sweeping, and polishing and stuff like that. Going through papers and things. Everything looked good. I was happy. I'm happy when things are clean. Um, so the girls came back and they said, "There's an issue." I said, "Well, where's Maddie?" They said, "Well, she's locked in some kind of um, stall." And I said, "Well, tell her to come on. Let's go. We'll just go." And they said, "No, it's she's crying. She won't come out." And I know my daughter. That means someone's terrorizing her or something. I said, "Well, where is she?" So I sent the boys, and so they came and they got her out, and they came back, and security is starting to look from the area, and God says, "You need to leave. You need to leave right now." And so I get in the car and I leave, and I back into a cement thing. And so I damage my vehicle. And so we go, and God says, "Leave, go to Mexico." And I don't know what happened still. I don't know what happened. And my daughter's terrified again. And my daughter's worse than I am when it comes to being innocent. She's very innocent. And it's so I'm like, "What's going on? What's going on?" God says, "Just get out." And so I get out, and I hear this grinding. He didn't talk to me about what I damaged, but I damaged my vehicle. And so I keep going, keep going, keep going. And the brakes aren't working. And I'm in Lancaster. I'm leaving Lancaster, and it was like Palmdale or somewhere. I can't remember, someplace in there. And so he says, "Keep going." So I keep going, and I'm starting to test my faith, aren't I? Kind of a little bit, because I'm like going at top speed, right? 55, 65 miles an hour with no fucking brakes. And so my kids are going, and I can't tell them where I'm going. And I said, "Well, I'm just going to take you to the beach." And we had already gone to Santa Monica and came back, and there was a helicopter there that was sporting guns on, as they were flying by. And I'm like, I took a picture of that. That's posted somewhere. And so that was weeks before, a month before, and so we were on our way to LA, and I'm terrified, and the kids are calming down. I can't say a word. And God said, "Just go to Mexico, don't tell the kids." And so onward I go, driving down. No brakes, right? No, it's just grinding. And I hear like a rattling in the back, and I don't know what it is. So I get on some fucking highway. I don't know if it's I-5 or what, but I'm heading down. He says, "Your axle's fucked up." No, he didn't say it that way, of course. He says, "Your axle's broken." And so I'm saying, "Oh, great, my axle's all fucked up." And he says, "No, it's broken." And I'm like, because it's an old RV, and I'm like, "How is that possible? How are my wheels working? What's going on?" He says, "I've got you. Like this. I got it. I'm holding it." And so I'm like, whatever. I just know I'm really scared, right? I am. I'm like, okay, whatever. You're saying that. Okay, good. I got you. I understand. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. I love you. And so I'm driving, and he had told me to get those kids get those kids that iPhone. Each of them got an iPhone. It cost me $785. And I'm like big on my bills, aren't I? Am. And this is a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 contract I have with this Sprint thing. And he said, just take it and go. I said, okay. And so I go and I'm driving down there and these brakes aren't working. And I don't know how I got it to slow down. But by the time I got to Oceanside and had to get gas, cleared up. I don't know what God you serve, but I know mine's a fucking mighty God. And he is something. He's something. And it was, I don't know. But I know by the time that I got to get gas and got down there and I had to cross the border with the kids. And the kids are mine. I had birth certificates and stuff like that. They're mine. And, you know, the adopted kids were mine, and there's no man that signed to adopt with them. And I was divorced, and I had full custody of the children. And so taking them to Mexico, even as a refugee, might have been the best thing for me to do since the United Nations told me to, because it was pretty bad. Some stuff was going on. And so I had Coffee Anon as a sponsor. And he said, you know, I'll get you in there if you go. When I got there and I'm like tapping into my stuff, and Coffee says, you know, you've got me. And I said, okay. So I went in there and I crossed the border and they pulled us aside because it's an RV. And I had marijuana and didn't even think about it because I was smoking legally. I had marijuana at the top. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And it was so bad. And I said, okay, God, I might be going to Mexican prison. That's better than going back to Chowchilla. And, you know, at that point, I said, that's done deal, right? Okay. They let me go. I said, I'm here. I'm with the Peace Coalition or United Nations, because I am. I'm with all of them. And I said, I've got a sponsor named Coffee Anon, and I need you to contact Interpol. I can't even remember everything they said to him, but here are my documents, here are my kids. And they let me go. They said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Rosarito. I don't know why I was going to Rosarito. I just know I'd been there before, but I had been up and down, you know, Baja California before. And I said, I'm going to Rosarito. So I went to Rosarito and went down Benito Juarez Boulevard. Got to Ortega's, turned right because there's a Las Playas sign there, and that was Guadalupe, Victoria. And then went all the way down to Pemex, which I said, ooh, hey, that's interesting. You know, it's, you know, Egypt and oil, and go all the way down it to Camino Vallejo, the path of the old person, the old path or something. So I pull in. First person I meet was somebody named Shorty. And I parked, and we sat there terrified, and my kids were like, we're in Mexico. I said, yeah. I said, oh God. And it was just, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And I didn't know what to do, because we were just getting fucked with left and right. And so I got there, and I let the kids get high on marijuana, because my son was pissed off and he'd smoked before, and he was over the age of 14. And so I said, okay, just calm down. So he took a hit, and police showed up. And first time I met Officer Joshua Ramirez, and handsome dude, man. And he said, you smoking pot, little lady? I said, yeah. I said, kind of not. No, I said, I'm not. I said, the kids are, but that's because I said that they could. And he said, you let that one smoke? My youngest, I said, no. I said, they're 14 or over. I said, in tribal law inside the tribe says if they can work, they can have recreation. And so I knew that that was right, and I knew God said to, and that was the best thing I'd ever done, was to let him smoke that weed, and to let the girls get in trouble, because the girls, it led to something that the girls weren't supposed to do. This, not my daughter, but my adopted daughters, who weren't raised by me as a child. They were raised by foster family that was connected to me, and my foster family. And I'm like, oh God, I don't think highly of them. And so my daughter didn't smoke, but I don't think she did. But I know my son did. I know the other girls did. And so Joshua came to the side window, and I think it was Michaela was there. And so he first said, he says, you know, the ticket's like $60. I said, hey, I got $100. I said, can you go pay it for me? He said, yeah. And so I handed it to him, and one of the girls was recording. He said, call me if you ever need anything. And he saw our recording. I said, hey, don't give me your name, your real name. And he says, it's Joshua Ramirez, or it's Joshua. I can't remember, it's Joshua. And I don't know if that was his real name or not, because I told him not to give me his real name, and he knew I was scared, and he knew that she was doing something. And I talked to him immediately. I said, hey, because I found out that my documents started getting missing, and it was the girls were taking my documents. I say, look, now I'm missing some legal documents. And, you know, it was just one thing after another, because the next day they were sacrificing animals to the right of me, and some Santa Teresa stuff on the beach, and then I had to go up against the voodoo. The voodoo. Yeah, because that's what they do, is they run you down to Mexico, and that whole industry is to do the Blair Witch, the voodoo, the Skankor murder, the axe murder, the machete murders, whatever. Yeah, it's a big deal. They love this shit, and that's what they do. And guess what's a big industry? And it's all because of a politician. Dick Monteith, who isn't ours, but he's UK from the unauthorized descendancy of kingdomship of Scotland, and their unlawful braiding. We talked about that already. So anyway, that's what happened right there. And he said, it's okay. I said, hey, I've got stuff up top. I said, I didn't even know, because we're running, it's a refugee. I came in as a refugee. And, but I didn't go to the agency. I didn't go to, what's it called? Immigrations. I didn't go there. And I stayed with the authorities, kind of. And Josh has said, I'll watch over you. And he watched over me. And we didn't like go anywhere or do anything. We talked sometimes on the phone and stuff like that. And he kind of was a faraway boyfriend. And it was good. It was good enough to keep me from having to leave, and he's military, so he knew I needed to. He knew what I was doing, and he didn't get to participate in it, because that was bad, because he's military for Mexico, and he knew that what I needed to do was contact the authorities, and he knew, because he watched, and I told people, make sure that I needed eyes on me, because I'm an innocent person. So I say, you don't give me privacy. Tap my phone. I'm tapped always. I'm tapped. I'm tapped. I put that. That's there. The emblem's there. So if anybody gets on my phone, you need to know I'm tapped. It's got CIA. It's got Yeah, I'm tapped. I make sure people know it. And because people want to steal my phone, you better know that's tapped. It's tapped all the way from Interpol and all agencies and stuff, all the way down to local. And even on a tapped computer, gotta go.